What's good? What's good? What's good in the hood? Welcome back to another episode of the Good in the Hood podcast. I am, as always, your host, Juice. Joining this week with a special guest, man. Family to the show, man. Family to me. I'm saying, what's going on? Reese Amaru is in the building. How you feeling, Reese?
Hey, I'm feeling great. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. You're a photographer. You say you're a music fan like myself. We've had many music conversations, many personal conversations about mental health and many things. And of course, you're an artist as well. And I'd love to get your artistry expressed today. So get you introduced into the world, get your voice out there, and talk about your photography history and everything you got going on in the future. How you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good. Probably the best I felt in a long time. I'm in such space. It's amazing. Like I can't thank God enough. Like awesome. Man, I feel good.
That's awesome. And you also have you have an IG page for your photography, Amaru Raw. How long you been doing photography now?
Professionally, I've been doing photography for almost 10 years.
That's dope.
Wow. So yeah, we're 9 years now. And yeah, so I've been doing it professionally for almost 10 years. And but photography has always been a part of my life since a child. I've always had a camera on me. I've always, just capturing photos, it mattered so much to me. Like memory forever. Like I can capture this and I can look back on this and moment over and over again. Like I feel like that's what photography is. So yeah.
If you go to the brand page, you'll see it's over almost a 400 posts made on the page. You've been doing this, like you said, for 9 years now. You work with some big artists. What keeps you going to photography? Like photography now, of course, with Instagram and everything's available now. Photography is kind of an everyday thing for many people. What makes it? What's the essentials to it? So what's the essence to it for you? Still
remembering why I fell in love with it to begin with, because like you said, with Instagram, with it becoming now a career for me, sometimes you can accidentally suck the fun out of it.
That's real.
So it's just me having to always remind myself of why I fell in love with photography and why it's so important to me, and why I'm doing it.
So take it back 9 years ago. Like what sparked it for you to actually pursue it as a passion? Like I know you said as a kid you collected memories, but what made you like say, you know what, this is a professional goal I see myself headed towards?
Honestly, it was the people around me. Luckily, I had a lot of people that believed in me at a time where I was afraid to believe in myself. So like 9 years ago, I would only shoot landscaping, scenic, and nature photography. Things that couldn't respond back to me and tell me if it didn't like it. And I think that's what I was fearing, someone not liking something that I loved. And obviously that's silly, but it happens. And so yeah, one day my cousin, Jazzy Latoria, she's a professional dancer. She asked me to take photos of her for her portfolio. And so I told her, like, I don't take photos of people. Like, I don't do that. And she was like, well, I love your work. I think you're amazing. And if you love me, you'll do this for me. I'm just like, how I am with people I love. It's really hard for me to say no at the time. So I was just like, all right, whatever, I'll do it. It's fine. Oh my God, I blew myself away. It was the most beautiful photos I had ever taken. And I was like, wow, like I can do this, and it was easy. It came effortlessly for me. And all I had to do was try. So shout out to my cousin for believing in me and giving me that push. And then from there, me and my best friend, Chrissy, who is also a photographer, an amazing photographer, she came back home from college. And came back home, she was like, yeah, so I took up photography. And I was like, shut up. How did we not know this? Like, we never knew that we both had that same type of interest in photography. And so we were like, let's go out here and do this. So we would go out and shoot each other, or, shoot together, work on together. She would invite me to shoot that she's doing. And she was also trying to build up the same courage. So it was fun because we were at the same pace. And, we were really exploring and discovering our crafts within each other. So it was really cool.
After your cousin Jazzy gave you the opportunity to, or push you to the opportunity to take pictures of her, have you transitioned into now being more comfortable? Not more comfortable, more like is shooting people more fun to you now? Do you enjoy shooting actual humans now?
Without a doubt, I can do it. The only thing that will still have me at that reserved space would be shooting in events. Shooting events feel very, very nervousing for me.
For crowds, you mean?
Yeah, it's so many people. Everyone wants you to take a picture of something that they want you to take a picture at, and you're here for this event, for the person, the host of the event, already giving you a list of things that you have to catch because it's going to keep going. You can't pose everyone, So it pushes me. It pushes me past limits that I try to stay comfortable at. So it's still kind of hard for me shooting events. But yeah, doing photography for actual humans is very easy for me now.
And with that, like with this passion of yours, like, did you ever see yourself being in front of the camera at all? Like, I know this is like you say your first interview. Was that ever a thing you want to do at all?
No. No.
Why is that? Why do you think that is?
Well, I know that I lacked a lot of confidence in me. So that reflected in all areas. And, even seeing myself, I think I kind of having such low confidence in myself kind of made me avoid my own existence in a way for me. So I wouldn't, because I don't even think I look good on camera, or I don't even think I know how to I only know how to take the photo. I can't
pose. Yeah.
So that was my thought process at the time. So it was just really me holding myself back from believing in me and just allowing myself to be, a person that takes pictures. Like, I'm not supposed to look how I take everyone else's picture. Like, I don't have to be picture perfect for a photo, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
I always try to hold myself to this unrealistic standard for everything, even taking pictures. So like, if this hair is out of place, no, delete it. No,
I feel like that's the balance or the contrast between the Instagram photography and, like, would you do actual photography, like you capture the imperfections to make the imperfections beautiful? That's
literally me. So it was always hurtful to myself that I wouldn't allow myself that same freedom, that same love poured back into myself. I would do it to everyone else. I can make everyone not even want me to delete their blemishes once we're down to it. Like, you made me feel that I don't even want you to change this. Like, I didn't even feel, so beautiful with this gap or with these pimples until I took these photos. Like, thank you. But for some reason I could never apply that to myself until now. We are here. We have been delivered. So I've
been delivered. It's dope. And just talk about like therapy and art like that, because we have many personal conversations in the past regarding mental health and like just seeking therapy, whatever. Have you found that in art? Because I've been trying to find that in my, like, doing the podcast, whatever, and just getting more outspoken. So I'm sure with photography you have the same appeal.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it helps you face fears that you try to avoid, or it helps you face yourself and you try to avoid. It helps me see the ability within myself. Like, I can do this. This is something I thought I couldn't. And here I am showing myself that I can. So everything that I've doubted prior to that is obviously doable because I've done this. I thought I couldn't, and here I am doing it. So photography definitely does that for me, where it reminds me of who I am and what I can do by just turning something so simple as like a bottle. I can focus on the detail and I can pay attention to the air bubbles or you know, it just makes you it makes oh man, how do I describe it? It's like shooting a photo isn't just your eyes. It takes all of your senses almost. Like you focus on detail, you focus on what this means to you. So it makes you think. It makes you create a vision of something that probably someone else can't see the way that you do. So it reminds you of your own creativity. It reminds you of the beauty in small things. And I'm such a detail oriented. I love detail. I'm going to talk about the smallest thing because that I feel like those things get overlooked and they're just as important. Details make up whatever that is. So photography does that for me. I don't.
And of course, like if you go through the Marvel Raw page, you'll see like a bunch of like scenic photos as well. Talk about the like you mentioned how before you got into with your cousin, how you love taking the scenic pictures and the nature pictures. What does that say about you? You feel like did you love these like pictures of birds, pictures of mountains and whatnot?
I am a nature girl. Like I am one with nature. Truly brings me joy. Going outside, touching grass, feeling, you know, there's just even animals. It's I don't know, it's really something within me because I just have this actual like personal connection to animals and to nature. And when I'm out there, it just kind of like, you know, I feel at home. But so when I first started taking photos, it was like I'm just gonna pair one thing that I love with this other thing. So if I love nature so much, let me capture it and really capture the beauty of it and share it with people who probably don't even recognize how beautiful this flower is and you know how beautiful the sky is. I always keep my head in the sky. I'm always looking up, looking at the clouds, admiring, you know, the color of the sky or the sun or a sunset. So it was no surprise that nature photography and scenic and landscape photography was going to be my first love in this thing, and it still is. I still go out. I'm having a hard time, having a rough day. I go out, no matter the weather. No matter the weather. If I need to go outside, I'm going to go outside. I'm going to go for a walk. And if I don't have my camera on me, my phone is being pulled out constantly. I don't care who sees me, people behind me, go past. I got to take a picture of this. It's like it brings me comfort. It brings me a sense of peace within and reminding me that there's so much life around me. Like there's so much life around me, and I can capture it, and I can take it home with me, and I can frame it, and it can, you know, like it's just it's a part of me for real.
That's dope. You said earlier how like taking pictures of like things that can last and moments that can last forever. And you said these moments when you go outside and get some air, you can capture those moments and you can always go back to them. That's very dope in itself. And you go back to like your childhood. Do you remember yourself being like in nature a lot as a kid?
Yes. Yes. As a kid, I loved nature and I even playing with insects, I was that kid. I captured butterflies and spiders and, you know, do not kill them, I'm feeding them like that. So I was always after, but I hated getting dirty. I wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? Like after I collected the bugs, I'm washing my hands twice. If my shirts get stained with dirt, I'm going in the house and I'm changing. So it was so funny how I was that, you know, so inclined with nature or in tune with nature, but I didn't like getting nature on me. It was so weird.
Was there ever any other forms of art that really inspired you at all? Any other forms of art that you try to embrace?
I don't know if I ever told you this, Justin, but
this is gonna be hilarious. I'm ready.
that you could not tell me anything else, but I was going to be a singer.
Okay.
Like gonna be on stage, killing it. My dad was my manager. Like I saw it written. And then some things kind of caused that dream to dwindle. And I was like, well, if I don't ever sing, I'm gonna work with music somehow. Like somehow I'm going to be involved in music because music meant so. And I'm not gonna say meant because it still means so much to me. Everything that I loved then is being revived within me. But yeah, I love music so much. I love music so much, and it talk about a healing tool and coping tool and just therapy. Music is that for me, and always. And yeah, I've always wanted to try to.
You're not gonna just bypass. I'm not letting you just bypass the fact you about being a singer. You visit this a little bit longer.
I can't say that that's really the dream now. I kind of still want to embrace it because I still very much so enjoy singing. I love it. It makes me feel good. Again, if I'm in a dark place, I'm going to just belt out. In here, it's echoey. I'm singing Beyonce. I'm singing Frank Ocean. I'm singing all the gospel songs that I can feel like. Oh my God, I love music so much. But yeah, I did want to be a singer. I still do, sing a little devil. But I'm trying to get back into just truly just, what I'm saying, loving it for me, like not even on a career aspect or what I could be, but I just love singing and I love music and I think that that's okay. And I think the fact that it wasn't going that route caused me to lose that interest in it. And I think that wasn't fair to myself. But
and with that, it kind of sparks like an interesting question for me. Like I feel like with art, especially in this world we in now, like with social media and everything's public. Like I feel like it's become hard for artists to express art a lot now because they don't. It's like oversharing. Like everyone has to see it.
yeah, absolutely. It makes it tough for one to feel comfortable with something that just means something to them.
Yeah.
Feel like aimed to everyone else's perspective of it or their understanding of it. Which
everything's up for like public discretion now. It's crazy. It's
so sickening and it makes people sense of self. And especially with this whole viral stuff now, everything has to go viral in order to, give a stamp of validation. Like, no, forget that. When it's a lot of people who are trying to do things that are not them, because it's a lot of artists who are trying to do things that are so like out of what they really want because of the audience that they have. Make new music, do this, do that. Oh, your music, everything. I want to make a quick statement about that. If your music sounds the same, that's your sound. You sound like that's you. If I hear, and I not trying to bring him up. I know a lot of people don't like him, but if I hear Chris Brown, if I hear a song that Chris Brown wrote, I instantly know that's a Chris Brown song because you listen to his album, maybe the fifth, sixth, or seventh, they sound the same because he found his sound. So I just want to say to the artists that have gotten discouraged over comments like that, please don't let it fall to the wayside. These people don't know what they want right now. They just want to say that they got it. They just want to say my favorite artist, but I mean, like, it's okay to, to listen to your audience and to take into consideration what they say, but don't take it to heart. Still, like I said, remember why you started it. And that applies to anything. Like you said, everything's public now. So it's not just music that has that the audience has that effect on them. So that's for everything, even with your podcast. It's your thing. How you can have. Ain't nobody else tell you about it. This is yours, Justin's podcast. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry. I don't know if you used your name.
Yeah, I do. It's fine. You good.
Get it out. But
you good.
Yeah. That's all I wanted to say. That since I'm here and I'm coming back to myself, just recognizing all the things that I allowed to take me away from me. And it was a lot of what other opinions were. Yeah. And this day and age, we have to learn how to use that discernment and also be able to give ourselves that validation and that approval. So we don't have to seek it out from even our fan base. We don't need to do that because we already know that what we're doing is for us. And if it's true to me, it's true to my life. I don't have to, get approval or validation from anybody else but me and God. Like that we're the only two that know what we're doing here, So
yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. So like, and also if you look through your page or you look through all your art, your photos, you're gonna see quite a dope amount of artists from Chicago, like in the mix. I'm saying that you collaborated with, from Film Dot to John Doe. Talk about those collaborations and like just the essence of Chicago being a part of you as well.
mm-hmm. Okay, so yes, I have worked with a lot of Chicago artists, and for the most part, most of them we already have a connection prior to working together. So it kind of makes it a little easier, but also just working with artists from Chicago feels like home.
Yeah.
Move the same. We bounce our ideas off each other because we know, like we kind of come from the same makeup, so it's like it's easy to mesh together. And with them being my friends, they kind of push me past what they already know my limits are. Like, no, you never did BTS before. Come to my video shoot. I want you to be my kind of scene photographer. So, the very first artist I worked with was MF and Mello, and I did behind the scenes for his No Mas video. Okay. My first.
Xavier Holiday.
Yeah.
Don't break it.
I was like, it was just me, testing the waters, and like I said, he was that person to say, you might as well bring your camera. You never did this. You should try doing this. And so, yeah, it from there, I just knew like, okay, I can tie these together. Like photography does fit here, because I was like, I always used to divide the two. Okay. So working with Chicago artists and them trusting me with their photography, aspects, it's just like, it helped me realize that this photography has space in so many places than just what what I saw it as. It's just me just taking photos. No, this is actually something for, someone to carry on what they have, their rollout, their business, their, like photography is everywhere. It's in everything. Yeah, it helped me realize that this is greater than what I was trying to simplify it as. And so working with those artists, Chicago artists got that drive. Like no matter what, like you feel like, oh, you here to work. Like absolutely. I think we all that hustler mentality in us just off strength, like from being from how to move. You gotta get up and get it. So being around that energy in a workspace versus us just kicking it is beautiful. I love working with people from the crib. I love it so much. No, just anybody else that want to work with me outside of Chicago, feel free. We still can do that, but it's a different vibe with Chicago artists for sure.
Absolutely. And as a photographer, like collaborating with artists and musicians, like, do you feel like you need to be a fan of the art that they provide before you can work with them?
There have been times, and I there are times where I probably the song or the whatever the it was, whatever their work is, sometimes it wouldn't resonate to me the way that it resonates to them. But my job as a photographer is to help bring whatever that idea is to a physical form of some sort, like you're able to see the photos. So it's not really, I never really go into it like I have to feel exactly what you're feeling, and we have to be on the same level with your work in order for me to I just understand them. I think me just understanding them and their their inspiration and everything behind it makes it easier for me to produce photos that match what they are looking for. I don't necessarily have to enjoy the song or and the artwork and everything just for me to be on the same level and provide the work that they're looking for. I hope that makes
That's real. Is there any artists that you think that I want to shoot with them? I want to shoot them bad. Like that you know, that you don't know, like anyone out there that you really just want to pursue at the moment?
Rihanna.
you went to the Holy Grail. Yeah, that'd be dope. That'd be dope.
I feel like she's so confident and like you just tell her artistic view shine through her photos. Like she got it in the bag. Like I just love to work with people like that who already got it set out. When they bring it to me, they already know exactly how they want it to look and how they want it to feel. They got the vibe set up, and she's that type of person I just would love to work with her. I love to one more person. Oh, the other members of Pivot Gang have not shot with me, and it's very interesting because I'm pretty close to those guys.
Pretty close.
Joseph Chilliams, Fresh Waters, and Saba Pivot.
Y'all been called out. Y'all have been called out.
So those three guys I would love to work with and yeah, just finally bridge that gap because I love them. And I also feel like they're, amazing photo takers. And so I will work with them too. The rest of them, I took Squeak, Day, MF and Mello, everybody, they've been in front of my camera several times. But those other three.
The little lucid. I feel it. I'm saying I feel it. And we're going back to like photography being therapeutic. I feel like music is also, and maybe for me at least, music is like probably the top thing in therapy. Like, so what are you listening to right now? What's in your rotation? What are you listening to right now? When you're in a good mood, when you're in a bad mood, when you just want to just isolate, whatever?
So I have an actual playlist, and it's titled "When I'm Up," and when I'm feeling, you know what I'm saying, when I'm feeling good, this is the music that I usually listen to. So when I'm feeling down, that's the playlist I usually turn on first thing. And that consists of some Bill Withers.
Ain't mad at that. You know what I'm saying? You done heard my music taste. You know what I'm saying? Bill Withers right in my alley. You know what I'm saying?
Some Beyonce, some film, a lot of Pivot, gospel, Janae Aiko. Right now, specifically, like before you called, I was actually listening to Bussin' Them Die because I just went to his listening party.
Okay, that's dope.
Song I have, but I just want you to know that it's bussin' for real. Like
I gotta check it out. I gotta check it out for sure.
That when he dropped that, but yeah. So yeah, that's kind of like I kind of listen to music that gets me up, gets me moving and puts a smile on my face, make me sing out loud. Because I think that also matters. We have to be careful of what we consume, not just what we do, who we're talking to. And a lot of this music today,
sad ass music out here.
Sad ass music. Oh my God. Me? That's it. But, yeah, it's a lot of sad ass music. It's a lot of trauma in the music, and even in the sounds, like heavy bass and it's just like, oh man, sometimes you can feel it kind of getting a little dark around here. So you gotta be careful, mindful of what you listen to. And I'm not saying I understand like there's a lot of it, and a lot of it is a bop, but make sure you balance it out,
Yeah, man. Don't listen to Rod Wave all day.
Yeah. So that's what I've been doing, listening to a lot of happy stuff.
That's good, man. Happy music is definitely better. Like it's a lot of good sad music. Sad music is a lot of good sad music out there, but when it's happy music, it always, especially on a Sunday, it's always a good time. Always a good time.
A little,
Um,
little refreshment.
you know what I'm saying? A little refreshment, you know what I'm saying? A little wake you up a little bit. But like we just coming out of probably one of the craziest years of like recent history. Um, how does it feel now for you, like with the world back open? We're approaching 2022. Like, how are you feeling as we kind of readjust to normality a little bit?
About an adjustment for sure.
Crazy, right? Like it's I didn't think it would be this hard to adjust back to being open.
I mean, aside from the pandemic and our personal issues and us having to face a lot of things because we were sitting in the house now.
Yeah, man.
We couldn't run, we couldn't avoid it. Um, Even in the midst of all that, I had a baby.
Yeah.
A lot for me changed. And I'm just now getting a grasp of it all. So I'm just now finding that readjustment. So I think we're coming out of that thing and heading into something beautiful. So 2022, I do believe that's going to be the refreshment for. So this was the restart, the readjustment. 2020 was the repass. That's a, and now we're doing the readjusting and reset and refreshing, and then that's going to be the light at the end of the tunnel. So I just want us to all keep going.
Absolutely. And like and you look towards 2022, like what are you looking forward to most? I mean, by the time 2022 you're approaching having a 2-year-old. Motherhood is like in full blown mode now for you.
It's so funny because she already believes she's 2. Like if you ask her how old she is, 2. Like she truly. I think that's one of the things I'm so excited about, watching her grow, and become a fantastic 2-year-old, but also my growth. I'm excited. I feel like there's a lot about to, come up for me. So as well as me being, live again. So I'm excited about that. I think that's what I'm most looking forward to, because I think that's where it'll start. It'll open doors for everything else. I have to clean house here, and then all the other blessings will rain in. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to my and yeah.
Do you think she knows that she's gonna be a full-time, like she's gonna be your full-time model? Is she aware of this yet? That she's your full-time model? Does she know that yet?
Yes. It's get the camera out my, but yeah, she knows. If I'm like, oh, I gotta get the camera, she stands up, she ready. Right. Here we go again. Practice on me, but yeah, she loves it.
But like, what do you see going on next for your photography? You see yourself like getting in the galleries? You see yourself doing more BTS behind the scenes shots? What do you see going forward in the future?
Gallery is so overdue. I've been seeing having a gallery since 2018. Damn. So yeah,
2020 might throw a little curveball at you there.
He did. Oh my God. I mean, well, 2018, 2019, 2020 all did that. Yeah. Like, and no secret, I lost 2 babies in the midst of those 2018 and 2019. I lost 2 babies. And so that kind of like caused everything to deplete. Like I lost everything with them, so yeah, so I did let go of a lot of dreams and goals, and I was right at the peak of wanting to push this actual gallery into existence. But once that happened, I was like, man, I'm not doing nothing. But now, as like I said, we're revived, we're back, we're refreshed, and yeah, I'm definitely into it now. I think my work is way better now. Anyway, it's deserving of being, hung up somewhere. So,
how about an album cover? You see yourself doing an album cover?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, give me the artist. Like, it has to be one artist that has to get the Reese album cover. Who's it gonna be? Has to be one.
Oh, don't do that.
I can't. All right. There's not associated with you already, because there's a few obvious ones, but like, yeah, there's not Chicago or Pivot Game related.
Look, I was like, look.
Exactly.
Let's see who. where I can really.
I mean, you and Chrissy can go ahead and tag team or pivot gang next album and cover shoes. Make it happen for the culture.
Oh, what is this? Amine? I always figured if I was pronouncing it right. But yes, I love. I don't even know if it's like maybe his facial structure or what it could be, but I think that he photographs well. And I always like I follow him on Instagram, and I would look at his photos, and I'm like, this will be a fire cover if all they had to do was just tweak that a little bit. That would have been fire. And I don't know, I find a lot of inspiration. He don't even know that, but I find a lot of from his Instagram, and yeah, like the way he takes photos. So he could get a cover up out of me if he wanted it.
That's dope. That's dope. And I can't let you leave. I'm putting myself on blast in public. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because like, you know me, I'm one of those overcritical music fans at times.
Troll too.
Huh?
You troll a little bit sometimes.
I troll sometimes. I troll a little bit.
Vote. Right.
I mean, go ahead. Go ahead. Take the floor. Take the floor. Go ahead and call me out. Go ahead and do it.
Well, we're going to give you your credit first. Your love for music, your taste in music is exquisite. I always used to love riding in the car with Juice because don't play the hits. Like I would take my headphones out because he already playing what I need him to play. I feel like we have this similar interest in music.
For sure.
So I've always loved that. But some things or certain artists that are popular, you kind of doubt them. One, the Beyonce Giselle Knowles. You tweaked on her one day and I had to set you straight because so Juice only wanted to go off of her singles on the radio. Single ladies, like Put a Ring, all that, like you thought that was all she had and declared her as not a good artist or a good singer. He said she was a great singer, but he wouldn't give her credit. So what I had to do was put on a debut album and leave him.
I never heard it.
Had never heard it. How can you base someone off of something you don't even know?
That's real.
History. Went off 2-3 songs and called it a day and said that loved her. I love her, but you said that she was better than Beyonce. Now, what we wanted to make clear was two can be great. You don't have to one to uplift the other. But what you're not going to do is not a great artist. So yes, I left him with her debut album. I left you in the car. When I came back, you were listening to Speechless.
Yeah, man.
Almost in tears. You felt that at the core. And I said, exactly.
That's fair.
Corrected yourself. Yes.
I never listened to a Beyonce album before that day. Never heard her whole full album until that day.
That and honestly, it was frustrating that day because that's what happens often today.
Yeah, it is.
Off of one or two things instead of actually taking the time to get to know before basing the opinion on something.
That's fair. But for me, it's also like there's so much music now. Like when I hear like a single, like all right, I'm gonna listen to the album because I want the single. Like,
and that's good. That's good. That's fair. Like, you know what I'm saying? All artists don't make all music for all people.
Exactly.
You know, sometimes this artist is only good for that single, or they only can make boppity bops and they not are. But Beyonce
is Beyonce.
Too much to her. Like she checked off so many boxes in so many different areas. There's no way you can't say that she is not great.
I'm super apologetic to this day. Dangerously in Love is an amazing album. Lemonade is an amazing album. I was tripping.
Yeah, it's okay.
Four is a good album. The Beyonce album is a good album.
Got it. Talk your shit.
I was tripping.
Based it off the album. What was it? I think was it Lemonade?
Yeah. Cause I didn't like that one. What's the one record I just hated on Lemonade? The Hot Sauce in My Bag joint. I hated that song.
But that's what I'm saying. Like they played the shit out of that. That made you hate it.
Yeah.
Like overplayed, and that's what happens with a lot of music. A lot of good music, it gets worn the fuck out. That damn Happy song by Pharrell. Oh my god! Like, so stuff, like it makes sense, but I wouldn't base his whole,
That's fair.
On Happy. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like,
fair. That's fair.
and then that if they got a hit single, I'm gonna look and see what else they do. That kind of makes me more interested in them because they were able to produce this. So what else can they do? But sometimes you do go back and you're like, okay, somebody clearly wrote that one for you. You that one ain't your okay.
That one ain't just they ain't your sauce. That ain't you.
That little, but yeah. So I'm really glad that you actually gave it a chance and you came to your senses. So I'm proud of you. Don't ever do that again.
But hey, before we got here, we gotta mention since Pivot Game affiliated here, you gotta mention like Sab new albums coming out. Mello has some news coming. I'm sure some Mello jumped album already this year. A lot of Pivot Game music coming in. I'm saying, what are you excited for most regarding like just going into 2020 for them?
Man, I'm excited for all of them, but Mello is in a whole other Duffy. Like,
boy, it's different.
One who's learning themselves, who's figuring out their sound and what they keep it so close. And he keep it so close. And when he's ready,
man will not send me one email. Just give me one email.
No more juice. So be grateful. He stopped that. He can't. I'm always the last one now. So we'll. But yeah. So I am excited for him. I'm excited for Seb. I'm excited for Joe. Like, oh man, Joseph.
Yeah, man.
Joseph, that last joint.
I ain't been outside in a minute.
And you hear it. He like went outside. And that's what I love. I feel like they're all in that place, even Fresh. I haven't heard the new music Fresh. Like I said, they're keeping it real close to them. But from what I have heard, he not bullshitting. So honestly, I'm excited for all of them, but I think the order that I said it in is how it's gonna go. I could be wrong, but yeah, I think it's gonna build. They're gonna build off each other. I'm so excited for them.
It mentioned like public perception and like public opinion and shit. Like, what do you think about like how they receive? Do you think they should? Like, of course, it should get more credit out here, of course. Like, do you think
these boys are not only like great artists, they're great people. And when we talk about music good for your soul, they make that. Even if they talking about some sad shit, it's still relieving to hear,
some of the best, happiest sad music in the world by them guys. Let's say.
You feel relief and growth off of them when they recite their own lyrics. You can tell that it's not just them being sad. Like, no, they put their real heart and soul into this. Even a fun song, you still feel them. And that's one thing I love about them. But yes, I do believe that they deserve way more credit, way more acknowledgement for just their sound alone, because it's a lot of people that are considered way more famous than they are that listen to them and bite off of them.
1,000%. 1,000%.
I can say that. It's a lot of people looking at them that won't give them the credit, that won't reach the hand out, but will take their formula. But it's 1,000%. Cool.
1,000%.
So that they can reformulate that thing into something else. You'll never keep up. And that's why they deserve the credit that they deserve. They're really great guys. They're all love. They ain't about no bullshit, but they will do, you know what I'm saying? Like when you talk about an Out West legend, when you talk about Out West legacy, those boys are the epitome. And that's not even me talking from someone that's close. That's me talking from just an understanding of who they are. That's good people right there. Grateful.
1,000%, man. All they awards are coming in due time for sure. They got plenty already, but there's a lot more coming for them for sure. And a lot more coming for you, Reese. A lot more coming for you.
What?
A lot more coming for you as well. A lot more coming for you, man. You're gonna keep growing out here, right?
Of course. Look where we starting at. I'm doing an interview.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So tell everyone where they can follow you, where they can follow the brand, where they can see what's coming next. What is that? Or just pull up.
Look, I'm a mommy still and doing all of this. I got her stuff. You see it in the background. That's what's going on.
Check out the baby toys. Hey, it's all good, man. But what can they follow you? What can they support the brand?
Please support the brand at Amaru, AMARU .raw, RAW. That's on Instagram. And so far, that's the only place where I have my I've submitted my work to. But since we're growing and the confidence has blossomed, I will be creating my own site where see more than just what you see on Instagram, what I'm afraid to show on Instagram, and also just where you can book shoots with me and the whole nine and get to know the person behind.
Maybe gonna sell some prints in the future, you know?
Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
Gallery is up and running. My work will be well, no, I probably would do it without the gallery. I haven't really worked out the kinks yet. Let me figure it out. But
in due time.
A lot of things are on the way, and yeah, talk about the growth. I feel it. I'm really excited for what I have coming, and I can't even really say, but I know that it's gonna be amazing. The sun is.
You know what I'm saying? Manifest destiny, man. It's all coming to fruition. And I appreciate you, Reese, man. This is super dope. I'm really glad you were saying you shared your voice on my platform, man. It's very important to me. Thank you very much.
You make me feel so comfortable. Like I thank you for having me, for real.
Absolutely, man. Hey, many more interviews for you in the future. You'll be a bigger outlet. You know what I'm saying? My outlet's gonna grow as well. And you know what I'm saying? We can do this again in the future.
Wait, before I go, I just literally want to say on record that I am so proud of you. I know how hard it is for you to open up and to talk. So to actually have
you see it in real life.
In real life. And you've expressed it, and you're pushing past that. You found a space that can help you grow in the comfort of that. And I think that this is amazing for you. Please keep going. I see this becoming something big for you. So
thank you.
See past everything you can, whatever your heart desires, you can do it, Juice. So do not be afraid to reach out to friends. Do not be afraid to reach out to others. However you want it to look, feel, sound, get it. And you're doing great.
Thank you, Reese. Thank you. As always, please follow the pod on Instagram at Good in the Hood Pod, on Twitter at Good in All Hoods. Merch is available at goodinallhoods.com, man. Until next time, West Side bound. Peace and blessings. Bye.